What's going on, guys? So, I've been thinking about the current meta and other meta decks, and something occurred to me because I was playing my Lightsworn rulers, and I was thinking about, could dragons come back? And no, I'm not talking full force dragons, like fucking 7 Store Swords to 3, Dragon Ravine to 3, other shit, I don't really remember the entirety of decks, but like, yeah, what if that deck could come back to somewhat form? Now, there are precautions if we did this, hypothetically. First off, no baby dragons back. Made it too easy? No. Also, I feel like just putting the dragons back to 2 would be fine for the format, okay? I don't feel like it would do any harm. It would help out some lower tier decks that can use the attribute of whatever dragon. And for the dragon deck, having 2 would not be bad. It would make rank 7s, and you could also mix it in with the how dragons is played now, just with 2. So, yeah. It wouldn't do anything bad with this current format. Not with Necros, not with Burning Abyss, not with Shadows. It would make an impact, don't get me wrong. But it wouldn't do it how it did before. Actually, even if you brought the dragons back to 2 and made Dragon Ravine back to 2, not only would that, or even back to, back to 2, because it would make Dragoonities playable, so for the low-budget players to make them happy, and for the high dragon players, make them happy. I understand that Konami doesn't do this because, they want to push the newer meta decks that come out with each set, which makes sense. You gotta make money. But they do have a tendency to, after sets and stuff go by, to make a deck not to its former glory all the way, but to bring some cards back so it's playable. Like I was just posted my video earlier about Inzectors. If a Hornet went to 2, wouldn't make the deck like breaking, wouldn't beat everything, but would make it a little bit more viable and make some players pick it up. Make some players maybe even buy the old sets again. Probably not. But with this, they could push like an older archetype just a little bit off the ban list to make people happy. I don't see the problem with that. And they might do it eventually, depending on whatever in the future new sets come. Like, I don't think with the Red Eye support they will. That'll be its own thing. Though you can play the current Dragon setup with the new Red Eye support all the way. Or you could, technically, I think, depending on how you build it. I haven't really looked into what you would make that deck about. But I think they'll bring them back in the future, depending on the attribute, and they probably will do it one at a time. So say if a new deck comes out that really hardcore uses one of the 4 attributes, they might bring back, might bring back one of those attribute monsters. I'm not saying full on, but it would help because it's like those decks, those cards I think are at their full power when they can accompany decks. Like Mermails with 2 title, I feel like would be great. Mermail's not the greatest deck now, it's definitely not a bad deck by any means, but if you have title at 2, there's more rank 7 plays open for you. And more rank 7 plays make a stronger with fucking Dragosack and Big Eye. Those cards are way too good. And Konami has this tendency to, and don't get me wrong, I do not want Dragon back to their full power, because that was just complete shit. But I was not against it when they banned and limited some of the cards and had the Dragons down to 2 for a little bit, because it didn't go from 3 to 1 right away, if you guys remember. So I was fine with all the babies being banned and the dragons going to 2. That point of the dragons deck I was fine. Yeah, did it still win a lot? Hell yeah, it did. But I was fine with how the deck was then. It wasn't a big deal like it was before. That's a fine deck. Do not care. And with how Vanities is mained in pretty much everything now, I don't think it would present as big as a problem as it once did. And we had Vanities before, but now it's like Vanity is a staple, pretty much. Not only that, you can mix these dragons in with other dragon archetypes to make a good deck, like Red Eyes. The new Red Eye support, if you mix it in with that, you could have a good deck. And having 2 Blasters and Fire Kings, I probably wouldn't do, but it would be cool, along with Redox and Earth decks. There's all sorts of things you could say about it. It would just make some lower tier decks more playable, it would make other deck more meta, and yeah, it would just be a fun thing to do, and it's a pretty simple thing. I don't think it would be a big deal. Now, there are probably some cons to this. I don't really can think of any of them off the top of my head. So let me know down in the comments below with this new current ban list, or even though I don't think it would happen, but say hypothetically if they brought the dragons to 2, how would you feel about it? Would you think it's a bad thing? Would you think it's a good thing? Or do you think dragons should stay where they're at? And on the whole flip side of all of this, I still think they should at least bring Dragon Ravine back if they don't bring the other dragons back, because I feel like Dragoonities got punished for something they didn't directly do. And Dragoonities back, not saying they'd be great, but like they're an okay deck to play. And now that one card got a reprint, so there you go. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later.